All right, a few matchups in the UFC have been a little talked about recently. They've been in the word in the grapevine here. But I'm gonna go through a few of the breakdowns, some early predictions, my thoughts and opinions on these early matchup ideas. The little rumors that have been circulating. And first, we got up Payton Talbot versus Hony Barcelos. Now, I don't mind this matchup, but at what point are we gonna give like Payton Talbot a test? This is like a striking version of a Bo Nickel here. When is he gonna get a test? Hony Barcelos is okay. I mean, I guess he got a fucking win, but you know, he's not that good. All right, I think we all know that he's not that good. Um, he's just kind of shit. He doesn't really have a chin anymore. His wrestling isn't that great. He doesn't push a crazy pace. And he doesn't really have that great, cardio anymore. He got knocked out by the great Umar. He's getting decisioned by Kyler Phillips. I don't like that. Yeah, I think Hony Barcelos is very far over. He's like if Edson Barbosa was like 55 years old right now. That's who Hony Barcelos is. And now when we look at Payton Talbot, obviously young kid, smoked Cameron Simon, whether Guru wants to admit it or not, absolutely showed that, Cameron Simon doesn't even fucking belong in the UFC, when you match him against a guy like Payton Talbot. But Payton Talbot, young, I think he's a streamer. I haven't watched any of his stuff. He's looking good so far, but he's fighting only cans, like Nick Arguiri. Cameron Simon, Giannis Gamori, who literally looked like he purposely took that knockout. Like, he just fell into it, and then he's just like, well, I get knocked out now. That's a good paycheck. I'm good for the year. Yeah, just disappointing matchup. I don't mind the matchup, but it's just like, at what point are we gonna, like, give Payton Talbot a fucking real fight here at 135? Like, I just don't fucking know what we're doing, especially at bantamweight. Like, bantamweight's the division where you want to see these early prospects get a tough test, But I don't know. I think Payton Talbot could go far. He could be like the next Corey Sandhagen, but like just with strength behind his shots. If he knocks out Hony Barcelos, great. If he submits him, good, I guess. But other than that, if this is a decision fight, Payton Talbot's kind of a fade, in my opinion. Hony Barcelos is kind of where you need to finish the guy in order to look good, as we've seen a Kyler Phillips just not be able to. So, I think you got to finish Hony Barcelos to really like prove you're worthwhile being time invested into watching this guy, but I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Now, the next matchup is Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Now, this has been circulating. Personally, I don't think this fight's actually going to come to fruition. I think this is one of those rumored never-to-be fights. I just don't see why you would, I think it's obvious Diego Lopez deserves the title shot after beating Brian Ortega, where Brian Ortega was on a little bit of a win, I guess. Was it a win streak? No, it's just like a win, I think, right? Because it was just, Yair. But yeah, I think Diego Lopez deserves the title shot. I think he proves it. I think he should get the title shot. I think Volk should just wait, man. Like, old man Volk, just wait, brother. Just wait your turn for the shot. Wait for Topuria to be done with Diego Lopez, or Diego Lopez wins, But once Ilya's done with Diego Lopez, then we can look at a Volk rematch. And then we can look at a move up. And hoping he sleeps Islam, just saying. But I don't mind this matchup if it actually does come. I just kind of don't want to see it, because I think Diego Lopez would actually knock out Volk in round 1. No joke. I know Volk is still the man, and he did just get knocked out by Ilya, but he's coming off 2 KO losses. I just don't like that as a former champion. And then he's going to go in there against a guy like Diego Lopez. Volk's weakness is a guy who can finish a fight. I think Diego Lopez's biggest strength is a guy who can finish a fight. All right. So I don't like this matchup at all for Volkanovski. I'd actually pick Diego Lopez. I think the odds would probably put Diego Lopez as the favorite. I think that would make sense. I think we do Diego Lopez probably minus 150 plus something. Like minus 150 to minus 250, I think is the max you can give Diego Lopez. Let's not like count out Volk too much here. But I do think like Diego Lopez should be 2-1, maybe even 3-1 favorite. If this matchup does come to fruition, I just don't think it is. I think Diego Lopez will get the next title shot for sure. And Islam's going to handle business fighting Arman Tsarukyan, you know? And then we'll see where we're at with the lightweight division. Especially, Alex should just wait out, especially if Islam loses. Because if Islam loses and Tsarukyan's the belt holder, I mean, I think it's just going to be Tsarukyan's time to, like, showcase he's a champion, and then Volk can get his rematch with Ilya. I do think, like, Volk's best opportunity here is to rematch Ilya. If he loses, it is what it is, retire. Your only losses are to 2 pound-for-pound kings. Like, that's not bad to have. And then his, obviously, his one loss way back when he was starting in his early career. Nobody cares. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way for Volk, you know, and he's only getting older. There's no reason to, like, if he loses to if he loses to Diego Lopez, there's no comeback. That's it. Finished, you know? And Diego Lopez could become a pound-for-pound king as well, but I just think, you know, new era's here. Old Volk, you gotta... Yeah. Either pick like an easy matchup, like a Mozavar Evloev, or, you know, go back to fighting Ilya. That's my personal opinion. But moving on. Now, some people aren't talking about this. I don't know why. But I've heard Francis Ngannou is fighting Mario Batista. Now, it is modified rules. Francis Ngannou will be given a weapon of a sledgehammer. And Mario Batista will be forced to not move for the first 15 minutes of the fight. Now, if you don't know, Mario Batista, absolute criminal performance he had against Jose Aldo. And I think this matchup makes a lot of sense. I'm picking Francis Ngannou by face smash with the sledgehammer. I'm thinking overhand, rapidly, maybe 8 or 9 swings. I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think Francis Ngannou's got this one locked in. You know, this might be a little controversial. You know, and we do know Mario Batista is really dangerous when it comes to shooting for a takedown, getting separated because he's boring as fuck, and then instantly shooting a takedown again because he pays off the ref. It's unfortunate, but, you know, Francis Ngannou, I do think, will bring us justice. He will bring that overhand swing right onto Mario Batista's fucking schnoz. Absolutely flatline. I think this will be the first murder, guys. You know, I do. You know, in all seriousness, this is obviously satire. I wish it wasn't. But moving on to the actual rumor, Alex Pereira, short notice replacement because Bilal fucking Muhammad is pulling out of a fight, guys. Wow, that's crazy. You know, Leon Edwards didn't pull out of a fight now. Yeah, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. That's the rumor. End of the year. I don't think Magomed Ankalaev's going to take it because he's an absolute pussy bitch and he only wants to fight in Abu Dhabi, where he has home turf advantage. And things aren't going to go in Ankalaev's way, and we know, you know, from the cliff, you know, they don't really do short notice appearances. So I don't think Magomed Ankalaev's actually going to take this fight. I think he's going to run away, scurry away, and say Alex didn't sign the card, and Alex is going to be just sitting there with a contract signed, waiting for Ankalaev. And Ankalaev's just going to sit there like, brother, he running from me, brother. What am I supposed to do, brother? Yeah, nobody fucking cares, Ankalaev, alright? Alright? Go fight fucking Shamil Gaziev, alright? Because, you know, I made a matchup video, if you haven't seen it already, you know, Ankalaev's next tests. But, you know, I think, you know, how good really is Ankalaev if he can't get past Shamil Gaziev, guys? Like, in my opinion. I think we need to see it. I think that's the next fight for Ankalaev. He needs to prove he's a #1 contender in any division, really. But if this fight was to happen, Alex Pereira, round 1 KO. Ankalaev's dumb, low IQ, no brain cells. He showcased that when he did get his, he got submitted. I know this was a little while ago, 6 years. Although not that long ago when you think of it on the grand scheme of things. Yeah. And Ankalaev's, like, kind of old. I know Pereira's old, guys, but, like, Ankalaev's kind of getting up there as well, you know? He's just barely in his prime. We're on the tail end of that prime, you know? Yeah, I think Ankalaev gets slept. I think he is that dumb enough to try to strike with Alex Poatan Pereira. I do think he's that dumb. I do think he's that low IQ. I do think he lacks that brain cell to shoot for a takedown when he needs to shoot for a takedown. But also, I think Ankalaev, I think Ankalaev is not going to be really strong enough to get Pereira down, just to be honest. Like, Pereira's a big fucking dude, you know? Ankalaev's not that far off, but I think, like, maybe he might get one, you know, pick up and dunk, but I think Pereira is just going to be able to sleep him. Like, if he gets up, slept. Like, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be, we're seeing it, we're watching it, Ankalaev gets tagged, you're like, oh shit, please shoot a takedown. As the cliff-dwelling rats, they shoot a takedown, he picks him up, he dunks him, and then we're like, oh, okay, round's over. Alex Pereira gets up within a minute, and you're all just like, well, now Ankalaev's fucked. And that's what I think that fight's going to be. Yeah, if this matchup actually happens, I'm picking Alex Pereira. Round 1 knockout, maybe round 2. I think he's going to make it look light work, and the narrative will be, how good is Khalil Roundtree really, guys? You know. Fuck, I'm so sick of seeing that. Anyways, yeah, so these are the matchups that all showed up, that all are rumored in the grapevine, because of Blal. Whatever the fuck his name is. I guess he's a champion. Fucking Christ, I can't believe we're in this reality. But anyways, with all that being said, just want to make a quick update on the matchup video here, just because I wanted to do it. You know, put my hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. But yeah, with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good day.